this is light work. Let me testify. This gon' be the year that I break every cycle. Let me testify, right hand on the Bible. I was tripping, chasing every empty title. Now I'm locked in, living like a walking Bible. He ain't failed me yet. Yes, work, yeah. Yes, work, yes, work. Yes, work. Ah! Yes, work.
Welcome to the Yes Work podcast. I am your host, Dr. DQ.
I'm Dr. Blair.
And I'm Lady B.
And we welcome you to our podcast, and we are here to empower purpose-driven women to boldly step into their kingdom calling by aligning their business goals with God's will. In each episode, we'll ignite transformation, encourage spiritual obedience, and activate divine strategy for impact and legacy. Hey, ladies.
Hey.
We have gotten so much positive feedback from episode 1, and we're excited to keep this excitement train going. This episode is for women of faith who are feeling stuck in their good ideas, but yearning God's ideas, aspiring or current business owners who are seeking purpose-driven and spirit-led guidance, or even like us, those faith-based creatives, coaches, and leaders who are ready to scale with obedience.
Yes, definitely. I have had so much positive feedback, and it's just been great to hear those testimonials from the first podcast. And I'm still geeked myself. Like, I'm just proud of us. Okay.
I am too.
Absolutely.
So after episode 1, actually, there's something that we realize that we can no longer unsee. It's this, that success does not settle the soul. And as women, especially, accomplished women, we were taught that if we work hard enough, if we achieve enough, even if we earn enough, right? We talk about coins, our pockets, or just become enough that we're going to have peace, right? We're going to have peace. We're going to be fulfilled. That would come, and contentment would come. But what we're actually seeing, and what many of us are quietly experiencing, is that you can be winning publicly. Like, literally everybody see, oh, she doing her thing, and still wrestling privately. So the question we're asking today is not, why aren't women successful?
Because we are.
Okay. Yes, we are. I want to live in this excellence.
That's absolutely right. We are successful. The real question, ladies, that we want to get down to today is, why do so many accomplished women still feel spiritually unsettled? I'm going to tell you, when we were preparing for this prompt, it hit me.
Did it?
It hit. Yes.
Like a ton of bricks.
Like a ton of bricks. Yes. It was something I could resonate with for sure. So, ladies, we see this. We do. We see it across cultures. We see it across different industries, across different platforms. And there's powerful women too that are or were unhappy at some point in their life. And you know what? And so actually one woman that stands out to me that I know that I personally look up to is Michelle Obama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, First Lady Michelle Obama, former First Lady. She's been candid. I don't know if everyone knows this, but, she's been candid about her experience with suffering from low-grade depression. And so this actually, what stood out to me with her, it was stemmed from COVID-19, the pandemic. At that time, we also had racial injustice. I mean, that at that time, now, present, future.
Okay, it's always been here. It's just
always there, right? And then the political division as well.
Yeah.
And so, I like her as an example here when we talk about powerful women, because here is a woman who represents excellence, who represents intelligence, who represents discipline and leadership, and also has a global impact. And, by every metric, we would all say, "Oh, this woman has arrived," right?
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
I'm trying to be like her. And yet she has openly shared about experiencing low grade depression during the pandemic. And it really came from personal weight, okay? Personal weight that came from being strong for everyone else.
Everyone
That's
else.
every woman's
Everyone,
story, especially every Black woman's story, right?
every Black woman's story. Exactly. And so that's what resonated with me in here is that we assume a woman that is successful, it protects them from the struggle.
Mm,
And y'all,
Mhm.
not
it
true.
doesn't.
It don't.
Yeah. Yeah. That actually makes me think of Mary J. Blige. And we love her, right? We love her. Whether the debate is
Mhm,
whether she can sing or not, nonetheless, she's
mhm,
successful. But I think about her and I think about her struggles, and she has been pretty open about it as far as the depression, the substance abuse, the physical abuse even that she faced with past
Mhm.
relationships, etc. And she used her music as an outlet for her emotions, and it really encouraged fans to seek therapy, to practice self-love, all these things. But I remember conversations around like, "Ooh, I need Mary to go through a struggle because her music ain't hitting the way that
mhm,
it does
mhm.
when
Yep.
she hurting or when she going through something or there's
Yes.
trauma there." And look at
Yeah.
us celebrating, right? That emotional tax, that emotional fatigue, drama and trauma in order to get something that will produce success, that will get us where we need to be, or that will, get her more money, right? Because
Mhm,
as the joke says, right, when she's going through those things, then her music hits differently. And it's about relatability, yes. And it's another great example of how success, right, it doesn't protect us from the frustrations, the emotional
mhm.
toll, the
Right.
tax, the burden. Life
Right.
still is lifing, even when we present with all of this beauty and excellence and posture. And
Yes.
it resonates with us when we are able to think of these people that we, sometimes maybe want to emulate or want to be like one day, to know that
Mhm.
they're struggling.
I
Yeah.
feel like we're always aiming for our perception of what perfection is.
That's
And
it right
in
there.
the journey to try to be perfect, we end up dealing with things and putting up with things that
Mm.
we shouldn't have to,
Yep.
that aren't
Mm,
Ours to
aligned
take.
with what we're supposed to be going through.
mm.
Yes.
Quita, Dr. DQ, because
Okay.
you coming into some future episodes there, because I hear a lot of unpacking.
Absolutely. It's almost like we only know how to produce when we're dealing with chaos. When we're in
Oh,
the
Mm,
midst of chaos
yeah.
is when we feel like we're putting forward some of our best work.
Yeah. That's real. That is
that's
real. And
real.
working under pressure, all of that is exacerbated under all of that. I really think, and I know we all have our own stories. I personally want to share one that resonated with me as far as like how this shows up in the sense of, being accomplished and still being unsettled. And specifically, I think about when God answered a prayer for me, but I didn't feel the way I thought I was supposed to after
Mhm.
Okay.
that prayer was answered. And
Yep.
I was sitting here confused, like, hold on, God, wait, hold on a second. I was sitting in this toxic work environment and space. And I mean, I was outwardly being attacked. It was policies being changed. So therefore, I couldn't benefit. Who cares who else it affected, right? But it was geared towards me. It was people following up with processes that I had created and telling me that I
Mhm,
wasn't doing it right. I said,
mhm.
I wrote this book. Like, how we, you know what I mean? So it was all these personal attacks. And I remember talking to people and everyone saying like, oh, this person's intimidated by you or this person's trying to push you out. And so my prayers were like, Lord, help me through this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me the strength, give me all the things. And then I shifted
Mm,
and I started praying for that person. I really started
wow.
to get to this point of I wanted them to experience God. I wanted them to experience his light, his grace, his mercies. And my prayers shifted from God, get me out of this to Lord, bless her. Because I see that this is
Mhm.
Mhm.
this is the enemy attacking her. And I mean, I
Yeah.
remember telling people and they were like, so you praying for her now? I said, yes, because that's what I'm being
Yeah.
called to do.
Mhm. Yep.
I ended up taking 6 weeks off of FMLA, y'all. I had to get me right. I came back and this person announced that she was leaving. So, I did my holy praise dance. I took my tambourine.
Right,
I was
right.
up and down the aisles.
Thinking your prayer had been answered.
It had been answered. And in my mind, I should have been celebrating a lot longer than what I was, because God said, I told you this is not where you're supposed to be. So even though she had left, I was passed up for a position. Policies stayed the same. Passivity, as far as people not being truthful and transparent, that increased. My leadership skills were questioned. I said, wait a minute. This person was the problem. They're now gone. But I realized that my achievement in this sense, like this prayer being answered, didn't necessarily bring me peace, right? And it didn't do that because I still wasn't on one accord with God. I still wasn't aligned with him, because he was telling me that this place was not for me. And it wasn't this person, it was the place.
The place.
So that really hit for me. But ladies, I know y'all got stories too. I want to hear, the people want to hear.
Okay, people. Well, I'll go and, I just defended my dissertation back in March of 2025 and immediately started looking for additional work to supplement my income. Y'all, when I tell y'all I'm qualified, okay?
All the way.
Okay, baby.
Almost 20 years of experience in K-12 and tertiary education. Not one, but 2 degrees in secondary math, and now a doctorate in ed tech. And honestly, transparency, I have to talk about it because I often shy away from talking about my credentials. But I'm going to talk about it on this podcast, and I'm going to let y'all know I was qualified for the jobs that I was applying for, and I got no callbacks. Y'all, these were adjunct faculty jobs, right in line with what I do. And I know that there's a situation concerning budget and the state of education in the country, but still the jobs were posted. Somebody should have called me back, but there were crickets. And so entrepreneurship is something I intentionally strayed away from. But after a few months of looking for extra work, I remember vividly talking to Dr. Blair and just saying, like, I feel like I don't have a choice but to go into this entrepreneurship and to do my own thing. So in a way, it was an answered prayer. Honestly, it wasn't the answer I expected. Okay. And I'm still praying about it and going to God about it. But I prayed to God about how I want to live, what I want to be able to do. And now that I've said, okay, I've opened up that door that Dr. Blair was talking about. Okay. Okay. And honestly, now reflecting, like, entrepreneurship really does seem like the most logical direction.
It's God-aligned direction. Oh,
yes. Okay. Logical and Lord-led direction. Love some alliteration, right?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, well, Quita, one, you said something that really touched me was, I feel like, why is it that we always feel like we have to shrink when we go into a room of people? Like I find myself doing the same thing, not talking about what I'm capable of, not talking about the degrees that I have, but this isn't just something that I've observed. Like, I have lived it personally as well. Just for a long time, I have believed that if I was affirmed enough, if I was enough, if I was supported enough, if I was productive enough, then I would finally feel settled, right? I would feel accomplished. And I struggle, y'all. I struggle deeply with comparison. This is actually something we talked about at the retreat. And thank you for a person just confirm, because sometimes you always looking for confirmation sometimes, right? But there comes a point where you need to stop that, looking for that confirmation, and just believe and trust in God. But I did get a quote yesterday, and I think that comparison really is a thief of joy. But yeah, I struggle with comparison. I struggle with discipline. I struggle with feeling like I was never just doing enough, right? I'm not enough. I'm not being enough. So really, it distorted how I saw myself. It impacted, again, how I showed up in rooms, or how I showed up in my marriage, or how I showed up as a mom. It even impacted how I served in leadership positions, whether it be leadership positions at church, in our ministry work. And I realized that this isn't serving God anymore when I'm feeling like I am not enough, when God says you are enough. So the cost of really ignoring this and that misalignment is heavy.
Yeah.
Like, you start doubting yourself and that sabotage, you start to sabotage your own
Ooh.
growth.
Mhm.
Your mindset it turns toxic. And actually what my church calls it is stinking thinking. We call
Mm.
it
Thinking,
stinking thinking,
thinking.
right?
That's
Because
nice.
you got to change the way you think. Like
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you look successful, but internally you just feel disconnected. So really, everything changed for me when I decided to finally surrender.
Mm.
When I accepted that I am not showing up in this world for approval from anyone,
Right.
for their applause or for affirmation. I am only showing up for God, and that's it. So when I rooted myself in that truth, peace, I could feel the peace. I could feel the weight being lifted off.
Mhm.
And so, my responsibility is obedience. It's not the outcome. And when my heart posture is shifted, because y'all know I love heart work. I love
Yes.
Yes.
working on my heart.
Okay.
Mm.
When my heart posture is shifted, my mindset is then shifted. And transformation did not come from achieving more. It really came from just being in alignment and in one accord with God.
And that honestly is amazing. And it really makes me think about how we ended up here in the first place.
Hmm.
And I begin to think about the impact of society and work culture.
Mm.
Because as a Black woman, both of those will have us feeling like we're not enough.
Hmm.
We'll end up saying yes because we can or because, oh, it will be nice of you to do this.
Hmm.
And we're doing it for those reasons instead of because we're called to do it. And then, on the contrary, we also end up saying no and shortchanging ourselves because we don't think we're enough. And that leaves us unfulfilled. And, further than that, we're staying in a situation because leaving society and culture makes us feel like leaving is responsible or even impossible.
Mm.
So really, we're out here feeling empty and incomplete despite our accomplishments, but God has already given us everything that we need. And
Everything.
so now is the time to be obedient and trust God to direct our paths.
I think that's intensely important because when we think about leading and when we are doing it well and when we're successful with it, sometimes you'll notice that you'll start disconnecting from the Lord. You'll start taking on more. So now you're more stressed. So your joy is leaving. You'll see that you're
Mhm.
giving more time to work or whatever this thing is that you're trying to reach towards, whatever this success
Mhm.
is. So you're praying less. You don't have time
Yeah.
to wake up early in the morning and give that time. Your presence is diminished from your family or your friends because you're grinding. Oh, girl, I
Yeah.
forgive you. Don't worry that you was late or you couldn't be there. I know you're trying to
Yeah.
get things up and running. What? What about God? Right? If we invited him in instead of the grind, instead of
Yeah.
all of the time that we're giving to our colleagues, our work, all these things, if we're not seeking him first and aligning with him first, then we're losing all the things that he already said in his word that's supposed to be ours, right? That sound mind, he said that's already there. You better activate that thing, girl. You ain't got to pray for it. It's already there.
Right.
Already.
Activation,
Yeah.
Okay.
Activation.
Come on,
yes.
core pillar.
Come
Yes.
on. Yes.
I love it. I love it because it's exactly what you're saying. God is inviting us
Yeah.
he's already put everything right there. You have everything you need. You just need to activate.
Yes.
And
Grab that
so
thing.
when I think about the reframing this situation, the situations that we as women, this comparison and everything, it makes me reflect like he's inviting us to seek him, like
Yeah.
not to
Yeah.
consult him, right? We're not going there for consultation and God, well,
Right.
if you do this, then I'm gonna do this. And no, no,
Ooh.
no. He needs you
Okay.
to seek him and diligently seek
Yes.
him,
Mm.
right? He's inviting us to obey him, not
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
negotiate. I feel like again, that's I've been in that situation. I'm
Mhm.
negotiating. Lord, just let me get through this season right here.
Look, just one
And
more
I'm gonna
time.
do
Just one more time.
just one more
Okay.
time, God. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, God. I'm
How did I
sorry.
end up here again?
But really all he wants is our heart. He's inviting us to surrender to him, right? And he wants to tend to our heart. which it makes me, I'm all on this transformation. That's one of my things. And what scripture, Romans 12:2 says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So
Get this
it
word.
starts with thinking differently. We have to think differently. We have
Yeah.
to see ourselves differently and surrender.
And I just want to add
Absolutely.
to that because my recent prayers have been around responsibility fatigue and casting that out and rebuking it because God said his yoke is easy. Weariness, right? When we're getting tired and when we're getting fatigued, that's a sign to us. It's not failure. That's a sign like I need to realign with God. I'm off track.
Yes.
I'm
Yes,
off
it
track.
is.
This is light work. Y'all, the words that we use, I'm telling you, it has so much significance and power if you just remember it. In the midst of you saying like, man, I'm so frustrated with this work and I got to do this and I'm lifting this up. This is light work. And if it don't feel light, then let me go back to this word, to this scripture. Let
Yep.
me sit in prayer. Let me fast because this supposed to, let me tell you, I'm over here lifting weights and it don't even feel heavy.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Yes.
Wow. So I know I am telling you again, I love this topic. It can be heavy. As
Yeah.
I said, it's pretty heavy, right? It takes some time for you all listening might need some time to reflect on it, to kind of chew on it a little bit this week. But let me just talk to you directly for a
Yeah.
moment because you very well may be here right now in this situation, in some of these situations that we brought up, right? Where I know I've been there, where you might be praying and you're still restless.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself successful with multiple degrees and you're still unsure of yourself.
She's better speak to us.
I'm speaking to you.
Yes.
You might be serving someone else or you serving everyone else, okay? And yet not serving yourself. So you're serving everyone else, but your own soul, you're feeling neglected yourself,
Yeah.
but you're pouring into everybody else. Or you might be in a situation where I know I love God. I love him. I know I have a relationship with him, but you still feel distant from him. And then you might be wondering why all the wins still, I'm winning, I'm doing it, but I'm still empty. I'm not feeling fulfilled. And I can tell you like what I've learned and what I'm currently practicing is that I pray. I'm praying honestly, not performing, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we can get caught up in that praying for others. Praying for show. We're not
Yep.
doing this for show. We're
Right.
doing this for real. Stay in a community, you all. Like I'm telling you, finding a community because isolation can just really feel you are alone. You're isolated. You can feel distorted in that. So I can tell you, me personally, you know, church family, getting connected with like-minded women, getting connected with Christian women, getting connected with women in other businesses, other entrepreneurs. Find you a community and then submit your plans to God. Tell him
Always.
what it is that you want and renew your mind, as I've said.
I just wanted to speak to that community piece because
Mm.
and put in the comments, y'all, if you want us to do a podcast, an episode around church hurt. Because we brought that up
Oh, we
at
did.
our retreat. And some people, and I know people close and personal to me, right? Where they're like, oh, that's too far away. You travel how far for church? And
Yep.
a church alive is worth the drive. There is
How far are you
power.
driving away for church?
Baby, I drive 13 minutes with no
Girl,
traffic.
we don't even want to talk about how far I drive. Yeah,
Come on.
I swear it's about an hour.
But there is power in walking into the sanctuary. There is power in
Mhm.
activating and figuring out what your spiritual gifts are so you can then serve that community. Some of us
Mhm.
have really been hurt and
Yes.
personally hurt, right, in the church as well as like just feeling betrayal by the pastor or whomever. And that has impacted us getting in the community. The word says that we are supposed to get in the community. We are
Yes.
supposed to be in the home, in the church.
Mhm.
So, yeah, put in the
So,
comments if
yeah,
you want us to, because we could
yeah,
listen,
I mean,
I'm
we
ready to talk
can. But
yeah.
then,
about
so
it.
tell me about, we got a lot of people that go to Bedside Baptist.
Okay, baby,
They
baby.
lack
Come
that
on now.
community.
Let's. Oh. So I know that, so that's the piece, right? And I also think about me personally. I have found myself staying busy so I wouldn't necessarily have to listen. I will be overworking myself to avoid those hard spiritual conversations, right? And I think that's how I got to this space of recognizing and really calling into fruition that light work. If it is feeling like a burden, if it feels like fatigue as far as the responsibilities that God has given me, or I think that he has given me, then I need to get back. I need to get grounded. I need to get back in the word. And so those are the personal pieces for me that really hit and hopefully can speak to some of those listeners out there right now as well, as far as what that may look like and how it's manifesting for them.
Absolutely. And just thinking about having those accomplishments and still being unsure, I don't even know if I told y'all. So again, okay, March 2025, I successfully defended my dissertation. Why April was I looking at a certification program?
I told her about herself too, y'all.
Oh, I did tell you about it.
Yeah, no, I told you
It
about
came
it.
up. Oh, I did.
Because I did the same thing after I got my degree. I said, what else can
I don't know why.
Yes. And so then
you
I
are enough.
realized, like, I'm keeping myself in this learner role and I'm rarely stepping on stage to perform and really show people what I'm capable of. And now there's nothing wrong with learning, but at some point, you know, I got to shift on the spectrum between learner and teacher, no pun intended, okay? But in doing that and shifting more to displaying my skill set and being confident, okay, I'm taking a step towards fulfilling my purpose, and then I'll feel like I'm functioning in my calling. So that is kind of the chord that was struck for me personally.
It's beautiful. I think the important piece I hope that the listeners are getting, right? That feeling unsettled doesn't mean that you missed God. Baby, he's still there. He don't never leave. He's right
always
there.
with you. Always.
Right? Always. This may mean, especially if this resonated with you, that he's inviting you closer. He is drawing you nearer to him. I want you to think about these questions. Yeah, we're gonna make y'all think today. Y'all been vibing with us this whole time. We're gonna make you think. Where has success replaced surrender in your life? Where has success replace surrender in your life? What are you still carrying that God never explicitly assigned to you?
Girl,
This is not your assignment, but you done took it on. Like you got room. Bag lady.
And then you're tired. You're weary.
Yes. And wondering why. Let peace, you all, be your metric, not progress. That's going to hit hard for some of y'all because we are high functioning. We are achieving over here. We believe in excellence. That's all we can do is be excellent. So what does it look like to let peace be your metric and not progress? Y'all, we're trying to get to the space where it's not a gentle yes that we're giving. That's not the assignment that he has given us. It is a hardcore yell it from the youth. Yes! Like we need the choir in the background. We need the yes with the vibration. That's what he wants from us. Not this gentle, hey, Lord. That's not it. Not it.
That is powerful. Okay. So just a reminder to all of the listeners, y'all, we are on this journey together. We are walking together. We are growing together. You are not alone. Reach out to us. Tell a friend about the podcast. Matter of fact, listen together. Get you a listening party going on. Okay. The Yes Work podcast is what you need in your life.
I love that.
We are looking forward to continuing to share and discuss these hot topics with you guys, and we will see you on the next episode. Y'all take care now, and remember, always give God that powerful yes and do that yes work.
It's yes work.
Yes.
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 Yes.